Hello everyone, good day to everybody. We're making chicken caldo today. We're gonna start by washing our hands. Turn a little bit, just a little bit. All right. We are going to start with our chicken. It's thighs and legs. That's just how they sold it. It doesn't matter what type of chicken you use. For this soup, you can keep the skin on or you can take it off. I choose to take it off. And then I'll be using scissors to trim off some of the fat, not all of it, because that's where a lot of the flavor is at. So just lightly trimming the fat off, peeling the skin, and then trimming off just some of the fat. Perfect. This one seems fine, not too much fat to peel. For the legs, you can, like I said, you can keep some of the skin on or take it off. For the legs, I was thinking I might keep it on, but I think I'm just gonna take it off, the skin. So it's caldo, basically it's chicken, carrots, potatoes, and then at the end I will lightly add cabbage before I pull it off of the stove. And then once it's fully cooked, I'll show you all the process, but once it's fully cooked, I'll do some of the cabbage just raw at the end with light onions or cilantro. Of course, you don't have to add those things. I like to. You can also use jalapeno to make it spicier, but the hubby don't like it too spicy, so I usually just add my own jalapeno at the end. But there are times when I'll buy fresh jalapeno and just add it to the soup. This one's too hard, so I'm just gonna leave it on. Like I said, the skin and the fat does add flavor, so it's fine to have one or two with the skin on. I think, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8. That's 8 pieces of chicken. I think that'll be good, and then I'll save the rest. I will pre-cook for my daughter who loves meat. She's a meat lover. So I'll pre-cook the rest of the chicken, and I'll save that in a, I'll use a baggie to put the rest of the chicken. There's only 3 pieces left, so I will cook this in just a little bit. I'm just gonna put it in the baggie to the side and then throw this away. So I do not rinse the chicken. I did Google that and ChatGPT, and they both said for cross-contamination purposes, you should not rinse your chicken. That's just my preference. I'm gonna follow ChatGPT and Google. So now I'm gonna wash the scissors, washing everything after using it on chicken. Okay, so really hot water, all the way hot, just to make sure that they're clean. So right now I'm going to season a little bit. So far, this is what we have for seasonings. This is the caldo de pollo. These are the two that I use. This is in the Hispanic aisle. You can find it pretty much at any grocery market. I'll use that a little bit later. I'm gonna start with some garlic salt. Doesn't matter the brand. I'm gonna do, for this one, it is a hot blend. If you can see at the bottom, hot blend. Slap Yo Mama. I'm gonna add some of that to the chicken. I believe there's no salt in that. And we will use some pepper. So this is the pepper. We're gonna just slightly dash some of that on there. And then mix your chicken. And then add a little bit more. That should be good for now. We're gonna always add more pepper if needed as we go with the soup. So I'm gonna add some water to the pot. I usually do not super hot water, but you can do cold or just lukewarm water to your bowl or pot. I've done this video before, but it was it had copyright on it. Anyway, we're gonna add potato at some point. So I'm just getting those out. Okay, so we're going to add our chicken to the pot. Actually, let's go ahead and start it on the stove first. I'm gonna start it at 8 or 9 just to get the water warm. Again, our chicken is seasoned lightly, and then I'll rinse the potatoes. We're not going to add these right away, but we will be adding them at some point. I'm just going to rinse the potatoes for now. So while the water is getting warm, we're gonna go ahead and cut our potatoes. So I usually just take whatever that little ugly piece is off. Not all of it is. I mean, these are fresh, so they're still good. Just gonna do in 4s. So these are smaller potatoes. I've just got them in 4s. Like these, because they're so small, I'll just do those in half. Same with this, half. This one is bigger, so we'll do 4s. And after done cutting these, I will rinse them one more time. And I like to clean up as I go. So now that these are cut, I'll give them a light rinse. Okay, these are done. I'm gonna rinse the cutting board since we just used that. You okay, baby? Here, come have some water, please. Both of you, please have some water.
I have water right here.
Did you take your medicine yet? Let's do that. Let's take your medicine, please. It's right here. Grab your cup and I'll pour it for you. The potatoes are done. Now we will go ahead and cut the carrots out of the bag. We're gonna add carrots as well. And so I'm gonna cut these. I won't do all the carrots. I think maybe, I don't know about half the bag, but I think this is good. Maybe a third of the small carrot bag, because they'll be at the bottom after done cooking anyways. You can do half. I'll do a little bit more. I'm gonna rinse these. Okay, girls, I'm gonna pour. Where's the? Oh, get your little cups and I'll rinse them out. And the other one? Are you ready for some more medicine there? Navela.
Yes.
Okay. You're gonna have some right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Jelly.
It's just kind of like that. Here, let me give you a little bit more.
Why me?
Because you both are gonna have the same. Okay, ready? Cheers. Cheers your
I
medicine.
don't want a cheer.
Okay, you don't have to cheers. That's okay. You don't have to. Okay, y'all, so I got the carrots. They're already cut. They're already done. There's nothing more to it. So we'll leave that there. For now, we're going to add our chicken now that the water has became a little bit hot. So I'll just add the chicken now. I'm just gonna slowly drop the chicken in. I'm not gonna dump it. I'm not gonna dump the chicken. Just gonna add one by one. Okay, this is empty. I'm gonna rinse this and put it in the dishwasher. Okay, that is done. I will rinse the knife and let's see. So far, y'all, this is what it's looking like. It is simply just chicken inside of water at the moment. That's how it's looking. So we're going to let that do its thing for now. These are the bouillon. It's the same as this. This is in a container and these are cubes, simply cubes. They also have tomato. This is de pollo, so it's chicken. And this is what they look like. They're just little cubes. So I put these over here. That is the bouillon. Okay. So now we will get to cutting the veggies, which is very simple. So we've got our carrots, we've got the potatoes. We're just gonna put these here. Cabbage is very last thing that you'll be adding. You can add a little cilantro as you go. So for now, I will cut just a little. This is what I'll be adding to the soup as I'm cooking it. So just a little bit of cilantro for flavor inside the soup. I'll be adding this as I go. Alright, there's some cilantro. I'm just going to put it with the carrots because I will add them pretty much at the same time. Onion. I always cut both ends off first and then right down the middle. Makes it super easy for cutting and trash. And I'm just gonna go in half. That's it. Add these. This is when we're going to add some of the veggies. We'll just add them together. And we'll put this onion to the side for now. Cilantro here. And let's do some cabbage. With the cabbage, I just cut down the middle and I just cut in half. That's it. And I will put this in the veggie bowl that we're gonna add to the soup. And then I'll put the rest aside as we're gonna make a little topper for the soup at the end. Empty all of your trash off of your cutting board. And rinse. Let's open El Pato. This is El Pato sauce. It's hot tomato sauce. As you can see on the bottom, they have small cans or big cans. I usually just buy the big can. It is pretty much the same price for 2 small cans and you get more. So that's how I do it. And I don't use it all. I'll save it. So I'm just opening this for now. I'll find something to put it in. Let's see what we have. You've got it's an old school Tupperware. I'm sure your mom's or grandmama's, but they have a new set now. So this is the new set. Comes with all the bowls. I have 2 bigger bowls and then I've got 4 small ones. I love these Tupperwares because they actually work. Lids don't pop off. The Tupperware can damn near be in a car accident and it'll still be intact. So there we go. There's the El Pato, and I'll just use the lid, press down the middle, and then on the sides. And now it's airtight. If I can get it closed. See, that's how tight they freaking are. It's so full, I don't even know if I want to close it yet. There we go. Closed. There's that. Throw this away. So chicken is cooking. We're gonna rinse our knife again. We're going to move over here now since we're pretty much done with all the chopping. So we will do like so. There we go. Okay, 1 second. Okay. Here we go. Alright, so chicken is cooking. You can see there's a little bit of foam that starts to get created at the top as the chicken is cooking. I pretty much will continue to let that foam gather, and then I'll take You can take a ladle or you can use like a small spoon. And once that foam is created, you're just going to scoop it off the top a little bit. Alright, so that is going to continue. We've got the ladle. This is what we'll use for the soup. And then also this to scrape. As you can see, there is some of the foam. That is where a lot of the seasoning gathers, but it's also from the fat in your soup. So what I do is I get like an extra little bowl of some sort, and I've got one right here that I'm just going to use to gather all of that. Okay, so I've got this rinsed. I'm just gonna wait until the foam gathers and we'll start collecting the foam from that soup. I'll collect it in here and then I can slowly re-add it to the soup because it has all the flavor in it. You can toss it if you want, or you can reuse it back in the soup. It's totally up to you how you'd like to do that. So as this is all cooking, I'm just gonna let this sit, and I'm gonna add 2 bouillons right now. Here is 1, and here's 2. So 2 bouillons have been added. I'm gonna throw this away. You want to let the bouillon cook down just a little bit, and then you'll stir some. And the reason for that is because you want the bouillon to just soak into your chicken, and we'll continue to add as we go. And if you can see, there's more foam that's being created right here. You can see it start to gather, and that's coming from the fat on the chicken. So we're gonna let that continue. You can always add a lid right now, or you can leave it off. At the beginning, I prefer to leave it on, just so that way the chicken can cook. You do not want to add the potatoes right away because they will cook fast, and then your soup will turn into like mush, and we do not want that. So we're gonna add the potato a little bit later. So for now, we've got the lid on, letting that cook. All right, so we're gonna leave this for a minute or two. I will be right back, y'all. One moment.
I don't do
Alright, so alright, I can tell that it's doing its thing. We're gonna turn it down to 6 and take the top off. There we go. Now you can start to see the foam. The foam is collecting around the edges now. You may not be able to see all of that, but there we go. So remember our bowl and our spoon, we're gonna take some of that off the top. And I don't know if you can see, but there's the foam. So it looks real nasty, but we're just gonna take that off. Like I said, you do not have to use this at the end. You can, you do not have to, but this is where all the flavor is at. All of your seasonings have gathered into that. So now there's no foam. You can see that. It's all in here. I'm gonna set this aside. It's gonna settle on its own and it'll turn into more of a liquid form. So now that there's a couple bouillons in there, I'm going to lightly stir the bouillon. Just kind of get it all mixed in. Alright. Now that that is done, we're going to go ahead and add our potatoes. Here's the potatoes. We're going to be slowly cooking this, so be careful for the splatter. So I just gently put them in. Ooh, it's hot. Alright, so we're just adding our potatoes. Okay, rinse this bowl. Alright, so now we will add some of the tomato bouillon. It's good for now. Gonna add a little bit more pepper. There's our pepper. Just splash some of that in there. Just leave it right here in case we need it. And it looks like there's a lot of broth, so I'm simply just gonna let it slow cook for a little while, and then I'll be adding all of the veggies. But for now, what we can do is prep the little concoction that we add for the end, and that's going to be the toppings. So we're gonna move back over here. Alright, so here we are. There we go. Here's our veggies. We're just gonna do this all over again. So let's start with the cilantro. Alright, so Mochi, turn down just a little bit, babe. Yeah, last time my kids were watching Halloween Town when I was making this, and my whole video was copywritten because of the movie, not even music, it was the movie. And it specifically said copyright because of the movie Halloween Town, so I had to take the whole video down. But it's fine. We make this soup in the winter, in the fall, so there's always another opportunity to record this. Alright, so for now, there's the cilantro. I'm gonna add it right in the bowl. That's good for now. Then we'll do some cabbage. Alright, so I've got them in long kind of slivers, and I really like it like that, so I'm just gonna do it that way and this way. That's it. Add it to the bowl. And then our onion. So with the onion, I just like them really small, because again, this is just the topping for the end when your soup is all finished. So I just do very small pieces. Obviously, I'm not going to use all this onion as topping, but you can always save this in the fridge for later. Alright, there's that. So these are basically our toppings: cilantro, cabbage, and onion. Just do it a light stir. No seasoning, the soup will be seasoned enough. There you go. Super easy for the toppings. I'm gonna rinse everything off.
Okay.
After I add everything, I'll end the video because it would take forever for us to stay here and let it finish cooking. But what I'll do for the finished product is I will add a short to my page, so you can go to the shorts and you can see the finished product, how I do that. So for now, all we have left to add to the soup is all the veggies. So we're gonna go back over here and we're gonna scrape off the top like we did, same process as we did earlier. So let's do that now. Again, we have our bowl, and let's see. Ouch. Okay. I don't know, can you see? There we go. Alright, so give it a light stir. There we go. And as you can see, again, the foam is collecting. So we'll go ahead and skim right off the top. Some people do this, some do not. They just let it cook. I like to do this just because I don't want the foamy stuff. So I remove it and then I'll slowly add it back in. I don't use everything that will be in here. I'll just slowly add as I go. So now that most of the foam has gone off the top of the soup, we're gonna go ahead and add another bouillon to the soup. So we'll do that now. Alright. So as the soup has been cooking, some of the water is evaporating, which will allow us to add the veggies. So we're gonna go ahead and do that now. So we're just gonna add very slowly. The cabbage I'm gonna add in just a few moments. Alright, so here we go. The onion, just wanna break that up. It's gonna fall apart anyways in the soup, so it doesn't really matter if they're separated or not. But here's all the veggies. A little bit of cilantro, onion, carrots. Slowly adding that to your soup. Again, you don't want to splash. It's really hot boiling water. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and rinse this. I'm going to cover this, turn it down a little bit lower so it cooks low and slow. But look how pretty the soup is and colorful it is. We're going to let that cook. And again, I'm going to make a shorts so you can see the finished product. That is the soup. We're gonna let it cook low and slow. And in a few moments, remember I'm adding the cabbage to the soup, to the actual soup. But I'm not gonna do it now because it'll become really, really soft. This is probably gonna cook low and slow for another half hour to 40 minutes. I've got it on 5 right now, and I'll probably turn it down just a little bit more. So you'll see my shorts for the finished product. I hope you all enjoy. This is a great soup for fall and winter. Again, it's galdo, but basically it's just chicken soup. You can add any veggies you like. You can even add corn on the cob. My grandma used to add the small pieces of corn on the cob to this. Pretty much any veggies that you like, but I just keep it simple. This is how I've seen it done by my grandmother, so I keep it the same. Anyhow, I hope you all enjoy, and it's delicious, and try it. It's really easy. It's an inexpensive meal, and it does not take long to make. If you can cook it fast, you can cook it slow. I prefer to cook it slow. The meat comes out a little bit different that way. Thanks for your time. I hope you all have a great day. Bye, everyone.